Hey, what's up, guys? Today I'm going to talk about ENFPs. And, sorry, I'm just getting my camera set up. Okay, ENFPs are really, really, really fascinating. I'm an ENFP, and I consider myself to be very complicated. I'll explain to you why. Um, let's just go by functions first. So, ENFP leads with the function NE, extroverted intuition. And the second function they have is introverted feeling. Okay, so the way it works is the first function is the place which develops almost by itself. The first function is where people live as kids. ENFP kids are probably all over the place. They're probably really funny, and they probably have all these ideas. They probably don't behave in school. Probably creative in their own ways, but they're probably very difficult because extroverted intuition is this like all out ideas and like not getting rules and not following rules and like not getting all the sensory type structures that need be, and therefore constantly not meeting the standard of the teachers and stuff. So it's having an ENFP kid is probably hard. Sorry, I'm tired. So where maturity lies is in the second function. The second function for them is FI. FI is that sense of authenticity. It's that sense of being yourself. It's that like inner guidance of knowing what works, what doesn't work, and also using it to kind of filter out all the extroverted intuition, filter out all the ideas, and then filter out all the things that are going on, all the connections to kind of make ideas and to develop like what really means something to you and what you believe or what you don't believe. And that's really what gets where maturity lies. So they're going to mature much later in life because take, let's say, a contrast for an INTP. An INTP leads with a TI function, which means introverted thinking function. That means as a young kid, they already have that introverted thinking that's being developed, which is kind of that feeling, that sense of self, of what they believe to be themselves. The same way like FI, my second function, is that what I believe, what I truly find to be authentic, which is me. It's almost like they find the authenticity in their belief system. So they're going to mature almost by themselves because they're set to mature because that's their first function. That doesn't really need maturity. That's just how they go about their day. Their TIs as kids are always much more mature. And for them, it's almost like they need to immature. They need to like extrovert, like their second function is NE, so they need to get themselves to get out there and like learn new ideas and become more childish and become more open. That's where their immaturity lies. This is backwards. So they're going to appear more mature from the beginning. So, yeah, so that's where that covers. So you're not going to be like mature as you're going to be you're definitely going to be much more playful and joking around. And then let's say, for example, the contrast INTPs. I mean, INTPs are like the furthest removed from social connection. I mean, their first function, the main function, where they spend most time, is that internal thinking system, which is like, it's not even like extroverted thinking, which is like communicating with people with your thinking. It's like an internal system. So they're furthest, and it's not even feeling. So they're furthest removed from human connection, and they also have that developed internal thinking system from a young age we talked about. So, so where ENFPs really develop really comes from that internal feeling system. That's where they find that sense of self, that sense of belief. And it's tricky because if they're not, parented correctly, or their inner feeling sense is kind of very disrupted, they don't know how to feel emotions properly, they feel lots of shame, they feel lots of challenge, like lots of difficult feelings. So your internal feeling system can only be in one place. It can't be, developing its authenticity and what you believe, and then also feeling shame and all these things. If you're feeling shame and you're running away from feelings, or you're not in touch with, you're kind of blocking out that internal feeling system because of you don't like the way it feels, or because you don't want to feel, or the feelings are just very uncomfortable. What's going to happen is you're not going to be developing that sense of self, that sense of authenticity that we talked about before. So only through finding comfort in in an ENFP's feelings, moving into that FI, are they also going to start to be in touch with, themselves and what they believe to be true? And, that's really where the challenge lies for ENFPs. Can you face your feelings? Can you slow down? Can you internalize how you feel? Where does it come from? Slow down. What do you think is the right thing to do here? I know you're not sure what to do, so let's just sit on it. You don't have to have an answer now. So, these exercises that I'm talking about, these are kind of ways to, let your FI come on, speak up. Don't just allow your extrovert intuition to just connect and do the next thing, and then jump on the boom beach on my phone, and then I'm playing that game, and then I'm talking to that person, and then I'm going there. I don't even know why I'm going. Do I want to go there? How was my last experience? I don't, like, the NE that could just guide us, especially if we're running away from feelings. We have that push from getting away from our feelings. It's driving us to, like, doing everything, and you almost look like an INFP, leading with that FI, where your FI guides you. So, it's really tricky, and an ENFP's development, comes from that question that you ask yourself of, what do I want to do now? How do I feel now? Why am I afraid to do that? What do I believe about that system? Do I like the way they're running their class? Do I like the way they're running this? Do I like the way this person deals with his kids? I don't know. And that's the development. Development is through these questions. There definitely is some in there, like what you don't like. You don't like that. Your inner feelings hates that. So everyone has it, and it's that buildup. That's really where the maturity in an ENFP lies. And just to finish, I want to just contrast with an INFP, which is the same functions as an ENFP. It's just backwards. So they lead with an FI function. So they're extremely in touch with their feelings. That's their base, and they know what they believe in. They know what they don't believe in, and they're great at taking care of themselves and doing what they want to do, and not just jumping from thing to thing to thing. In fact, they struggle with the opposite problem, where they need to get out there. They need to just go. Don't think about it. Just hang out. Go out and you spend enough time in your feelings, and anyways, that's basically just a beginning. Maybe actually an intermediate discussion about the ENFPs. I think they bring a lot to the world. I think they have a lot of they understand people very well. Their extrovert intuition is something that allows them to really gauge so much from a conversation with somebody or from looking at somebody. They see in between the lines. I mean, I just from experience, being able to see in between the lines of what people mean, or how people feel, or especially within extrovert intuition with the feeling touch, you're kind of you're extrovert, you're kind of intuitizing the feelings and the expressions of people, and they can be great in human resources, being able to identify problems and being able to know who works well with other people and make connections. But they could have a lot of issues with very simple menial tasks that kind of don't mean much to them, and it's just so boring. And they have to it's almost like they're forcing themselves to focus, but they want to jump from idea to idea. So you're forcing me to focus on this one task. It's so hard. It's uncomfortable for them. So, to find jobs in areas that allow creativity and allow their mind to make connections. It can be good at interior designing, a job that the purpose of your job is to not do the sensory ISTJ type stuff. It can be very helpful for them. Anyways, I'm gonna end now. You can always talk more. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Hit me up on Facebook, Joseph Rubinstein, YOSEF RUBINSTEIN. Be happy to answer more questions.